Well, hello everybody. A special primetime edition of the 1987 American League replay. Thought I'd throw an extra game in because there are a lot of games to get to this week, including a doubleheader between I believe it's the Twins. I'm not sure who the Twins are playing. There's a doubleheader scheduled already, so try to get an extra game in. Um, and we are at the June 12th date. This is the third game in the June 12th date, game number 404 overall on the replay. And we're at Tiger Stadium for the game between the Detroit Tigers and the Boston Red Sox. Nice pitching matchup. Roger Clemens for the Red Sox, Frank Tanana for the Tigers. We look at the records of the two teams. The Tigers are 33 and 23. They're chasing the first place Blue Jays and Brewers. They're also on the tail of the Yankees for third place. They're only a game back from the Yankees for getting third place. Boston kind of going out on the string there. Hey there, Ben. Good to see you. Yeah, I figured RJL wasn't playing tonight at this time, so I figured I'd go in and sneak a game in. Let's see. Tanana is 3-5 on the replay. And Clemens is 5-4 on the replay. Holding runners, Tanana is going to be a +2 when he combines with Noakes. Tanana's a +1, Noakes a +1 for a +2. Clemens is a +1, but Gedman's a -1 for a net of 0. So let's go ahead and get this ball rolling. Since it is a nighttime game, there will be no ceremonial first sip because I'm not going to drink coffee this late in the evening. My coffee drinking ends basically before it gets to the PM. It's got to be AM. So usually about 11:30 is about as far as I'll take the coffee drinking. If I extend it to the afternoon, I'll be up all night. All right, so let's get to the Strat computer. Frank Tanana again. Well, let's first of all look at his real world numbers in '87. He was 15-10 with a 3.91 ERA, and that's in the real season. On the replays, 3-5 with a 4.90 ERA. Is not pitched all that well. 72 innings pitched, 74 hits, 14 walks, and 52 strikeouts. So he's going to see what he can do here against the Boston Red Sox. And leading things off for the Boston Red Sox will be center fielder Ellis Burks. Now, Bill Buckner is on the injured list, disabled list, whatever you want to call it. So they've got Dwight Evans playing first base and Henderson in right field. Todd Benziger will be joining the Red Sox in a couple of days. He's just not here yet, so they're playing shorthanded. So it'll be Ellis Burks. He is hitting .246, 7 homers, 16 driven in on the replay, .272 real world. And we're underway from Detroit. 4-5, and that's going to be a pop out to third base. He's going to pop it up right to the third baseman, Brookins, and there's one away. So for the folks that are working or whatever, can't watch at 9 a.m. Eastern every morning, thought I'd bring a prime time to this just to mix it up a bit. Here's Marty Barrett. He is hitting .311. No homers, 10 driven in on the replay, hitting .283. Or I'm sorry, he hit .293 real world. .311 on the replay so far. 4-9, and that's a split chance. 1-4 is a single. That's an 8, so he will line it to short where Trammell hauls it in. 2 up, 2 down. You were so right about that, Ben. They certainly did. They blew it. Plesac especially. But leave it to Rigetti to do the reversal on the blow. Here's Wade Boggs. Boggs hitting .349 on the replay. 11 homers, 29 driven in. He at .363 real world. 110, and that's a single, straight up single for Wade Boggs. So a 2-out single for Boggs. He will not go anywhere, will not be held. Brings up left fielder Jim Rice. Rice hitting .278 on the replay. 4 homers, 24 driven in. He at .277 real world. First havoc roll of the game. Nothing happening. Get a 5-6, and that's going to be a 1 for a double. Anything else is a single. That's going to be a single, 2 stars. That'll move Boggs to third. So all of a sudden, a 2-out explosion here by the Red Sox puts runners on the corners with 2 outs. Brings up Don Baylor, designated hitter in a clutch situation. in the clutch against the lefties for Baylor. He is actually rated completely neutral. No changes whatsoever. On the replay for Baylor, he's hitting 240, 5 homers, 27 driven in. He had 245 real world. That's a 1. Chance of a wild pitch on Tanana. His wild pitch rating is a 5. And a wild pitch would bring home a run. It does not, so Baylor will swing it. 6-12, and that's ball right field X. We're looking at the right fielder Sheridan. 2E9, first X chance of the game. 2 and a 9, he'll get to that. E9 and a 10 shouldn't be a problem, you wouldn't think. And 11's an error, but not a 10. 11 is an error, but for an E9, a 10 is not going to be an error. And for a 2 and a 9, that is simply a F2. Would have been a sac fly with less than 2 outs, but that was the third out of the inning, and nothing's going on there. Red Sox put a couple guys on, but can't cash in. Goes bottom of the first. It is Boston nothing, and the Tigers coming to bat against Roger Clemens, a 20-game winner in 1987, coming off his Cy Young Award-winning season in 86. In 1987, he still was very effective. 20 and 9, 2.97 ERA on the real season. On the replay, he is 5 and 4 with a 4.31 earned run average. 96 innings pitched, 102 hits, 32 walks, and 85 strikeouts. He struggled early, has improved as of late. Lou Whitaker will lead things off for the Tigers. Whitaker on the replay hitting 285, 13 homers, 44 driven in, and he hit 265 on the real season. That's a 2-8, and that's going to be a base on balls to Whitaker. Leadoff walk issued to Whitaker. And Whitaker needs a 4 or a 5 to get a good lead. He's going to try for that lead. Does not get it. He will hold. And here comes the designated hitter, Bill Madlock. Madlock, a recent acquisition from the Dodgers. With the Tigers, he's had 28 at-bats, hitting 286, 2 homers, and 2 driven in. It's a 3-5, and that's going to be a split chance. Anything other than a 1 is a line out to short. That's a 2. It's still going to be a line out to short, where Spike Owen will grab it. 1 away. Brings up Kirk Gibson. Hey, Thomas. All right, here is Kirk Gibson. Gibson on the replay hitting 370. Really been tearing it up. 9 homers, 32 driven in. He had 277 real world. Nothing on the havoc. Clemens to Gibson. 1-7, and that's a home run, 1-15. That is a 15. It is gone. Look at it again. A 1-15 for Kirk Gibson on a home run on a 1-7, and that is a 15. Kirk Gibson goes deep. Home run number 10 on the replay for Gibson. Continues his hot hitting. Scoring in front of him is Whitaker. Home run number 10, RBIs 33 and 34. He had 24 home runs real world. Kirk Gibson, 2-run home run. Tigers are out in front 2-0 on Roger Clemens. And he is not too happy about giving up that gopher ball. Here's Alan Trammell. Talk about somebody that's hot. He's hitting 422 in 185 at-bats. 14 homers, 47 driven in. Hit 343 real world. That's a 5-7. Ground ball second base X. That is Marty Barrett. He's a 2E11 is Barrett. 2 and a 1. That's going to get through for a base hit, and that's a rare play. But with nobody on base, the rare plays really aren't all that rare. So it's, let's see, a 2 and a 1 is going to be a single. So SI1 rare play talks about the run on first. Without anybody on first, it's just a base hit. So Alan Trammell gets himself a base hit. And he'll look to get the lead. Needs a 5 to obtain a good lead. Doesn't get it, but that's a 1. Means he could be picked off. His safe range is an 11. So 1 to 11, he gets back. 12 or higher, he gets picked off. And Clemens just picked him off. You can call it caught stealing if you want. I prefer to use the pick-off nomenclature because he is trying for the lead. So Trammell gets picked off. 2 down, base is clear now for Matt Noakes, catcher. Matt Noakes hitting .298, 16 homers, 50 driven in. He hit .289 real world. 5-6 left-handed for Clemens. That's a strikeout, and the inning's over. First strikeout for Clemens. But the 2-run homer from Kirk Gibson gives the Tigers a 2-0 lead after 1 from Tiger Stadium. Hello, Mr. RJL. Hope you're enjoying your night off to rest your voice after your All-Star game so you can get refreshed for tomorrow night. So I thought with open schedule here, I'd go ahead and shoot a 1987 primetime game, which is very rare. Most times these are always at 9 a.m. So I thought with Roger Clemens and Frank Tanana, it was a worthy matchup for primetime. We'll see how it plays out. Here is Dwight Evans. He will lead things off, followed by Henderson and Owens. Evans playing first base in this one for the injured Buckner. Evans hitting .357 on the replay, 13 homers, 44 driven in. He hit .305 real world. 5-4. Tanana against a lefty. That's an in-home run chance, 1-11. That's a 14, so that will be a double for Dewey Evans. Leadoff double. He's aboard. And now here comes Hindu, Dave Henderson, in right field for this one, taking Evans's place while he plays first base. Nothing on the havoc. Here is Henderson. 1-8, and that's a ballpark blast for Henderson. It's a 1-11 for right-handers. That's an 8. It's gone, and we got a tie game. Look at it again. 1-8 against the left-handers is a ballpark blast. Tiger Stadium's 1-11. That's an 8, and he has normal power. So Dave Henderson just ties the game very quickly with a 2-run home run. And we are all knotted up at 2 for Henderson. That's home run number 10. He only hit 8 in the real season. He's got his 10th already in his 140th at bat. He's scheduled to have 44 more at bats, but he's already surpassed his home run total. Some of these home run totals in this replay are running hot. And certain players, certain outliers are running less than that, but certainly a lot of them are running pretty hot. So it's a 2-2 game, and here's Spike Owen. He's struggling, hitting 193 on the replay, a homer and 6 driven in. He hit .259 real world. That's a 4-10, and that's a pop out to first where Evans will make the play. 1 away. 1 down for number 9 hitter Rich Gedman, the catcher. Gedman hitting 167 on the replay. No homers, 10 driven in. He hit .205 real world. 6-7, and that is a strikeout for Tanana. And that's his first strikeout of the game. 2 down, and that'll bring back the top of the order in Ellis Burks. 5-5, and that's going to be a 1-4 triple. That's a 15, so we'll settle with the double. A 2-out double for Ellis Burks, and the Red Sox have a chance to take the lead. Clutch situation coming up from Marty Barrett. Barrett in the clutch against lefties. Loses a hit on 3-5 and on 2-8 and on 3-8. So he loses 3 different hits, 2-8, 3-8, and 3-5. He will lose hits. We get a 6-11, and that's a base on balls. So the walk will push it over to Wade Boggs now, coming up with 2 on and 2 out. And in the clutch for Wade Boggs against left-handers, he loses a couple of hits, 1-8 and 1-10. So he's got to be careful of those 2 numbers. However, gets a 3-7, and that's another walk. So all of a sudden, Tanana walking some guys. Back-to-back walks have loaded the bases. All this with 2 outs and nobody on. 2 runs already in, and here's Jim Rice with the bases loaded. Rice, let's see, in the clutch for Rice against lefties. He loses a hit on 212 and on 3-6. So a couple different places there. Tanana needs to get the ball over the plate. 3-5 he does, but it's a possible grand slam, a 1 to an 11, but that's a 15. And Jim Rice came that close to a grand salami. 3-5, a 1 to 11 is a home run. That's a 15. So saved Tanana's bacon there. He did give up a 2-run homer to Henderson, but it could have been a grand slam there. As it is, we go to the bottom of the second, and it's tied at 2. And Roger Clemens back out, and he's gave up the 2-run homer to Gibson, so maybe he's feeling a little bit better now that the score is tied. Here's Pat Sheridan hitting 253 on the replay, 3 homers, 17 driven in. He hit 259 real world. 1-4, and that's a ground ball to second. Marty Barrett will take care of it. 2 down, or 1 away rather, I should say. Here's Darrell Evans hitting 290 on the replay, 16 homers, 40 driven in. He hit 257 real world. 2-5, and that's a ground ball to first, and Dwight Evans will retire Darrell Evans. 2 down. Evans grounding to Evans. Or Chet Lemon, speaking of struggling, Lemon is hitting 207 on the replay, 3 homers, 14 driven in. He hit 277 real world. 3-9, and he's going to draw a base on balls, a 2-out walk. And let's see, he has no threat to run. It'll bring up the number 9 man, Tom Brookins, third baseman. Brookins on the replay hitting 253, 3 homers, 17 driven in. Hit 241 in the actual season. 5-12, and that is a ballpark blast for Tom Brookins. He does have normal power. Ballpark blast, 1 to an 11. That's a 7. It's gone. A 2-run home run from Tom Brookins, of all people. He only had 13 all year long. This is home run number 4 for him. 5-12 is a ballpark blast. 1 to an 11, and he's got the normal power. It is gone. Tom Brookins. And Tiger Stadium is providing some home runs in this one. So Brookins, his 4th home run of the replay. He had 14 of those in the real season. I'm sorry, 13 of those in the real season. This is his 4th. Home runs, 4, RBI 18 and 19. And the Tigers reclaimed the lead 4-2. So Roger Clemens thought he was getting out of it, but not so fast. That innocent 2-out walk came back to bite him. Here's Whitaker, 5-6, and that is a strikeout for Clemens to end the inning, but too little too late, as a 2-run home run from Tom Brookins makes it a 4-2 ball game after 2. So maybe we're not going to get the good pitching matchup I was hoping for, but still got 7 innings to go, so you never know. They could tighten up. Here's Don Baylor, designated hitter. Flew out to right his first chance. 4-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. We're looking at Whitaker, 2E20. Pretty steady fielder, 2E20. 216 is good, E20 and a 7 for a second baseman. E20, nope, 313, 18, and 17. So very easy play for Lou Whitaker. And there is 1 away. 1 down for Dwight Evans. Doubled and scored ahead of the Henderson home run his first time up. 5-3, fly ball left field X. That's going to take us to Kirk Gibson. He's a 3E10. 3-1, that's going to drop in for extra bases. It'll be a double. 3-1 will be a double. Would clear the bases had anybody been on base. That's an 11, and he is an E10. There's no 11 there, but it will be a double for Dwight Evans. He is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. Evans had 37 doubles on the regular season. This is double number 18 on the replay. So he's aboard. Here comes Hindu. He hit a 2-run homer his first time up. That's a 4-3, and that's a ground ball pitcher X. Tanana's an E0. His range, according to the computer, is a 2, so he's a 2 E0. We know he can't make an error. We'll just roll and make sure there's no rare play, and there isn't. So he's going to make the play as far as not making an error, but can he get to it? He's a 2. The only way it gets through for a base hit is if we roll a 1 or a 2. Any other result, he makes the play. That's a 6. So that's going to be a G3. So that means the runner's going to advance, because on a 2 for the pitcher, a 6 is a G3, so the runner's going to advance. So Evans with 2 outs will mosey over to third base on that, where he can score on a wild pitch or error or who knows what. So he's at third with 2 outs for Spike Owen. Clutch situation for Owen. And against lefties, he looks like he's completely neutral in the clutch. That's a 6-4, and that's a catcher X. Noakes is a 4-E1. The 4 is a little bit problematic. This could be a pass ball or something. 4 and a 1. That's actually going to be a base hit. 4 and a 1 is actually going to be a W/S, but I believe it might be a wild pitch before the single even comes along. That's a 15, and he is an E1, so that's not a problem. But a W/S with runners on base, it's a wild pitch. All base runners advance. Wait a minute, hold on. Why, with runners on base, the pitcher uncorks a wild pitch. The catcher spins around. Oh, that's a rare play. I didn't want rare play. I wanted the E1. We're looking at. There is no error. It's just a W/S. So need to be down here with runners on base. The pitcher uncorks a wild pitch. Runner advance 1 base. Batter still at bat. Okay, so it's a wild pitch, and that's going to score the run. Wild pitch by Tanana, as Noakes was unable to stop it, and it cuts the lead to 4-3. That is an earned run. And now Spike Owen is up with 2 outs and the base is empty. 5-8, switch hitter batting right is a strikeout to end the inning. Strikeout number 2 for Tanana, but the wild pitch cost him a run. Go to the bottom of the third, it's 3-2. I'm sorry, 4-3, my bad. 4-3. 4-3 in just the third inning. Offensive explosion. Home runs out the yin-yang. All runs are almost all runs until that one there. The first 4 runs of the game reached, or first 6 runs of the game were home runs. Here's Madlock. 1-3, and that's a ballpark single check. It's only a 1, though, so he will line it to short. Strange how Tiger Stadium is pretty much death to singles, but sure does give up the long ball. Here is Kirk Gibson. I think the singles being low is a reflection of the probably not much foul territory, and so they lose a lot of hits on the pop-ups or something. Maybe that's what it's for. Here's Gibson. 6-7, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. We are looking at Owen. 3E17 for Spike Owen. 3-10, he should get to that, you would think. 3-10 is a G2, and that is a 9, and he is an E17. No 9 there, so good play for Spike Owen. 2 up and 2 down, but Clemens has been there before. 2 up and 2 down, and then all heck broke loose. So here's Trammell. 2-3 for Trammell. It's a line out to Boggs at third, and finally a 1-2-3 inning. First one of the game for either pitcher. And we go to the fourth. It's still 4-3. Favor the Tigers. Tanana back out. Will face Spike Owen. I'm sorry, Rich Gedman first will lead off. And then it'll be Burks and Barrett. Owen struck out to end the inning previously. 3-10 for Gedman is a ground ball right back to Tanana. So that's an easy play. 1 away. Brings up Burks. 5-3, and that's going to be a fly ball left field X. Again, we're looking at Gibson, a 3E10. 3 and a 3. Boy, the double die's acting up again. 3 and a 3 is going to be a double. That is an 8. And he's an E10. There is no 8 there, but it will be a double for Ellis Burks. He's got his second double of the game. He had 30 doubles in the real season. That's double number 8 on the replay. Here is Marty Barrett. Tanana. 1-9, and that's going to be a double 1-5. That's a 10. It'll be a single 2 stars, but that'll get the run home, and we are tied at 4 apiece. Marty Barrett, RBI single. Now, let's see. He needs a 4 to get the good lead. Doesn't get it. He will hold for Wade Boggs. Action, that sounds painful. Robert, that sounds painful. Hope it's not as painful as it sounds. All right, here is Wade Boggs. 3-5, and that's a single 2 stars against Tanana. Tanana getting beaten pillar to post here. Wonder if he's going to make it through 6 innings or not. Runners at the corners, 1 out, 1 in for Jim Rice. Infield back for the double play. Rice is a good double play candidate. A lot of ground ball A's on his card. 2-9, and he found one right there. It's not a tailor-made double play, but it is an around the horn 5-4-3 double play. And that will end the inning. But the RBI single from Barrett has tied this game. And we go to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 4. Clemens back out. He'll be facing Matt Noakes, Pat Sheridan, and Darrell Evans. 3 tough left-handed hitters. 3-8, and that's going to be a split. 1-10 is a single. That's a 2. Base hit for Matt Noakes. Matt Noakes with a base hit. He won't go anywhere. Here's Pat Sheridan. Nothing on the havoc. 6-7, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. They were not holding Noakes on, so Owen keeps his 3E17. Try to turn a double play or at least get to it. 3-16, that should be a G1. 3-16 is a G1 potential double play. That's a 13, and he is an E17. E17, there's no 13 there, so we have a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play, 643. Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania, the unofficial sponsor of the Demos channel. They sponsor the tailor-made double play of the game. And if you're up in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania, be sure to check them out. They might even give you a discount. All right, here's Darrell Evans with 2 outs and the bases cleared. Hello, Sports Time Machine and Tribe fan. .110, and that's going to be a fly ball to right field, and that will end the inning. So the double play took all the starch out of that inning. We go to the 5th, and we're still tied at 4. Tanana back out will face Don Baylor. He's 0 for 2. Get a 5-5, and he's not 0 for 2 anymore. 1-4 is a triple. That's a 5. It'll be a double for Don Baylor. He had 9 doubles on the season. This is double number 8 for him. He will later get traded to Minnesota. Right now he's with the Red Sox. And the Red Sox have clubbed the doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doubles, and we're just in the 5th inning. Just started the 5th inning. They have 5 doubles. Here's Dewey Evans. Conversely, the Tigers don't have any doubles. 3-7, and that's a base on balls. And for Tanana, that will be walk number 3. Does set up a double play, but it also can lead to a big inning. Here's Dave Henderson. He hit the 2-run homer in the 2nd. Infield looking for another double play chance. 5-10. It's a ballpark single check. That's going to help him out. That's only a 1, so it will be a. Normally, I would make it. I'll go ahead and make it a fly ball right field C because with the C, the runner can't advance. So we'll keep the right field just to minimize so many line outs to short. If it had been a fly ball B or something like that, or A, I would have kept the original result. But the fly ball C doesn't change anything, so we'll keep it. Here's Spike Owen. That's a 2 balk or pass ball possibilities. We're looking at a balk chance on Tanana. His balk rating's a 0, though, so no balk for Tanana. 3-7, and that is a fly ball left field, out number 2. 2 down, and that will send up Rich Gedman in a clutch situation. And Gedman neutral in the clutch against both sides of the plate. He's neutral. 4-4, and that is a fly ball center field X. That is Chet Lemon, 2E4. He should make the play on a 2E4. 215, he will get to that. E4 and a 13 in center field. And E4, only 16, 18, and 4 are errors, so 13 is good. Chet Lemon makes the play, and the Red Sox are retired in the top of the 5th. So Tanana struggling but hanging in there. Here's Clemens, bottom of the 5th, taking on Lemon, Brookins, and Whitaker. Lemon walked and scored his first chance. 4-7, and that is a 1-2 single. Anything else he lines to short. With that 14, it'll be lined right to Spike Owen. 1 away. For Tom Brookins, he had the surprise 2-run homer his first time up on the ballpark home run chance. Tiger Stadium gave it to him. 3-6, and this time he grounds it to Spike Owen at short. 2 up and 2 down, but again, Clemens has been 2 up and 2 down several innings, but never been able to close the deal. See if he can do it this time. Here's Whitaker. 1-7, he does it this time. He struck him out. And that's the second strikeout for Whitaker. Third strikeout of the game for Clemens. Only 3 strikeouts through 5 innings. 2 of them belonging to Lou Whitaker. So we go to the 6th. We are still tied at 4, and this is the fatigue inning for Tanana. So we'll keep an eye on him. See if he gives up a combination of 3 hits and walks. Here's Ellis Burks. He is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. And that is a 5-5, and he might do it again. 1-4 is a triple. That's an 18. It'll be yet another double. 3 for 3, 3 doubles for Ellis Burks. That's double number 9 on the replay. He had 30 of them real world. And here comes Marty Barrett. So the Tiger bullpen starting to stir down there. Let's see who they have available to pitch. They have 2 lefties. They have Mark Thurmond and Willie Hernandez, and they have 2 right-handers, Eric King and Mike Henneman. Those are the guys they have available. They also have a non-carded left-hander named Mike Madden, but I'd only bring him in if I run out of pitchers. So looks like on the people that they have, let's see, looks like Eric King is loosening in the bullpen. Tanana facing Marty Barrett. 1-4, and that's a split chance. 1-5 is a single. It's a 17, so he's going to line it to Trammell. And there's 1 away. They'd like to have Tanana at least get through 6 innings. Here's Boggs. Boggs has reached base all 3 times, 2 singles and a walk. That's a 3-10, and that's going to be a fly ball to right. 2 down. And that'll take us to Jim Rice. Clutch situation for Rice. And he loses a hit on 3-6 and on 2-12. That's a 3-8, so he got around it. It's a base on balls. And that will extend the inning. One more base runner, and Tanana will hit his fatigue number. He's got to deal with Don Baylor. Baylor in the clutch is completely neutral. (2-9) for Baylor. That's a fly to center, and Tanana gets out of it. Don't know if he'll come back or not, though. He's kind of been struggling, so they may have to go to the bullpen. Have to wait and see how Sparky feels about it. Right now, Roger Clemens back out, and he'll be facing Madlock, Gibson, and Trammell, heart of the order for the Tigers. Madlock 0 for 2. He's lined to short twice. 3-4, and this time it's a ballpark single check, and that fails. So I'm going to keep the pop out to second just so he won't line to short again. 1 away for Kirk Gibson. Homered in the first and grounded out to short in the third. Oh, white die got hung up. So let's try this again. Get a 1-8, and that's a ballpark blast for Gibson. 1-14, and that's gone. Second home run of the game for Kirk Gibson. Look at it again. 1-8 is a ballpark blast. 1-14 is the home run. That's a 12. Gibson home run number 11. Second home run of the game. And the Tigers reclaim the lead 5-4. And it would make a winner potentially out of Frank Tanana. Gibson home run number 11 now. He had 24 real world, RBI 35. And it is a 5-4 Tiger lead. Here's Alan Trammell. 5-10, and that is a catcher X. We're looking at Gedman, 3E15. 3-13. 3-13 for a catcher. P/F, so it'll be a foul out with nobody on base, assuming there's no error. That's a 10, and he is an E15. There's an 11 and a 15, but no 10, so Trammell will foul it out to Gedman. 2 away for Matt Noakes. .211, and that's a ballpark single check. It's only a 1-2, so he will line it to third. And that will end the inning, but the home run from Kirk Gibson, his second of the game, has given the Tigers a 5-4 lead. And they're going to go ahead and have Tanana come back out, start the inning. But he is on a very short leash. Dewey Evans is 2 for 2, 2 doubles and a walk against Tanana. 3-5 for Evans. That's a single to left field. And that may be all for Tanana. I think they're going to go to the bullpen now. But they're not going to go to Eric King. They're going to go to Mike Henneman, as we're now in the 7th inning. So we get into the shorter relievers. So Mike Henneman will come. So Tanana is going to go 6+. Couldn't get anybody out in the 7th. So we're going to have Mike Henneman. So Tanana can win it, but he can't lose it. Could get a no decision if the run scores there. -5 for Henneman on the hold. Makes him a -4. So in the real season, let's bring on Henneman on the computer first of all. Henneman on the real season, 11-3, 298 ERA and 7 saves. On the replay, he's 3-3, 3.44 ERA and 3 saves. 18 innings pitched, 23 hits. Excellent walk to strikeout ratio, 2 walks and 15 strikeouts. But he's got to deal with Dave Henderson. Evans at first will not be held. He's not any threat to run. Hello, bald guy. Good to see you. Henderson 6'5". It's a fly to center. Chet Lemon will haul it in. And here is Spike Owen. It's a 4-8, switch hitter batting left, and that's a base on balls. Let's put runners at first and second with 1 out. And Rich Gedman, your batter. That's a 6-9 left-handed, pops him up to Trammell at short. And now it's 2 away, and it's all up to Ellis Burks. He's 3 for 3 with 3 doubles. But they were all against Tanana. Clutch situation for Burks, and in the clutch against right-handers, he will lose a couple of hits here, 1-9 and 1-10. Also on 2-8 and on 2-12, so he loses 4 hits. 4-6, that's going to be a single to left field. We'll see if that's enough to score the run. Gibson in left field's got a 0 arm. Evans was not being held, makes him a 13. 2 outs makes him a 15. So 1-15, he would score. Owen, if they throw home, would go to third, and Burks would take second. But I think you have to throw home and try to prevent the tying run from scoring with 2 outs. So they will send him, and all runners will advance on the throw. But if he's out, the inning's over. So Evans, once again, is a 12. Not being held is a 13. 2 outs is a 15. Gibson arm a 0. 1-15, and he is out. He is in there. 16-20, he's out at the plate. He is out at the plate. What a throw by Gibson. Gibson, obviously MVP candidate in this game. 2 home runs, and now a tremendous throw to throw out Evans at the plate and end the inning. What else can Kirk Gibson do that he hasn't already done? Obviously the player of the game at this point. Keeps the score at 5-4. And that we can close the book on Tanana now. Let's see. Let's go to Strat Computer and get his full numbers. Tanana 6+, 12 hits, and 4 runs, which were all earned. 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. So not a particularly good outing for Tanana, but he's gotten run support, so he is a pitcher record to get a win as long as the Tigers don't lose the lead. 7th inning stretch time, it's 5-4. And Clemens back out, and his fatigue is the 8th inning, so he's still okay. He'll be facing Sheridan, Evans, and Lemon. Start the bottom of the 7th. That's a 3-3, and that's a solid double for Pat Sheridan. First double of the game for the Tigers. But that 3-3, solid double to center field. And that brings up Darrell Evans. Get a 1-9, and that's a base on balls. And for Clemens, that is walk number 3. It does set up a double play. If Lemon was a decent bunter, we might think about bunting to get the runners in scoring position, but he's a D bunter. So we'll have him swing away. Clemens, 4-6. Doesn't get any better for Clemens. 4-6 is a 1-10 double, and that's exactly what it is. Back-to-back doubles with a walk sandwiched in between. It is a 2-star double, so Evans at first can only go to third. But now the Tigers lead it 6-4, and you wonder how much longer they're going to go with Clemens. The only reason they've gone this long because their bullpen is terrible. In their bullpen, they have two left-handers, Joe Sambito and Tom Bolton, 3 right-handers, Steve Crawford, Wes Gardner, and Calvin Schiraldi. Those are the choices. So with lefties coming up very shortly, looks like Joe Sambito is loosening in their bullpen, and he would face Lou Whitaker. So they're going to let Clemens pitch to Brookins, and then after that, with Whitaker and another lefty Gibson coming up, they will go to Joe Sambito. Right now, second and third, nobody out. They're going to bring the infield in. They can't afford to give up any more runs. So Tom Brookins is up, but the infield is in. Clemens could really use a strikeout about now. 4-7, won't get it. 1-2 is a single, but that's a 3, so he lines it to short. And that at least got him out of that. But even the outs he's getting are getting hit hard. And so finally McNamara coming out to get the ball. That's going to be it for Clemens. He's going to go 6 in the third. Can't close the book on him. He's responsible for both of these runners. And left-hander Joe Sambito will be coming on for the Red Sox against the left-handed hitting Lou Whitaker. So we'll go to the bullpen. Clemens not happy as McNamara takes the ball. Sambito. Look at his numbers on the real season versus the replay. In the actual season, he was 2-6 with a 6.93 earned run average and no saves. On the replay, he's 0-2 with a 6.06 ERA and 2 saves. 16 innings pitched, 21 hits, 6 walks, 13 strikeouts. Again, the infield is in with 1 out and runners at second and third, and Lou Whitaker the batter. Whitaker has walked and struck out twice. Sambito is a -5 hold. Don't know that's going to help him right now, but here is Whitaker. That's a 4-4, and that's a ballpark single check. It's only a 1-2, so we'll keep the fly to left field C because no runners can advance. So a shallow fly to left by Whitaker, not deep enough. Rice throws it back in, 2 down. And now here's Madlock. Normal circumstances, I'd walk Madlock to face the lefty Gibson, but not when the guys hit 2 home runs. So we're going to go ahead and pitch to Madlock, who was 0-3. Kind of go against the grain, but I think it'll look awful silly right now to walk Madlock to get to Gibson. That would seem pretty strange. But Madlock might very well hit a 2-run single. Who knows? That's a 6-9, and he struck him out. Joe Sambito with a strikeout. Magical work there by Sambito to get out of that with bases with second, third, nobody out, and he gets out of it without any further damage. So a run is in to raise the lead to 6-4. You now close the book on Roger Clemens. Go to the computer for that. Get his numbers. Clemens is going to go 6 in the third, give up 7 hits and 6 runs, all earned. Not going to help his ERA very much. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. So here's Henneman. He'll be facing Barrett, Boggs, and Rice. Heart of the order for the Red Sox. Barrett, Boggs, and Rice. 3-9 for Barrett is a single to center field. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. Henneman's a -4, so we're not going to have Barrett try anything. Down by 2 runs. He will stay right there, especially with Boggs and Rice coming up. (6-7), and that is a ground ball shortstop X. They were holding Barrett on, so Trammell will revert to a 2E21 versus a 1E21 because he is responsible for holding the runner with the lefty at the plate. So a 2E21 now for Trammell. 2 and a 9, not sure that's going to make a difference. Find out. 2 and a 9 is still it's a G2, so it did make a difference. That is a 10, and Trammell is an E21, no problem there, but it's a G2, so it's only a fielder's choice. So by having to hold the runner on, He wasn't in great position to get to the ball quickly enough to make a double play. Instead, it's a 6-4 fielder's choice. And the new runner is Boggs. So 1 down. And that'll send up Jim Rice. (6-8) against Henneman is a strikeout. So Henneman strikes Rice out number 2. And it'll be up to Don Baylor. If the Red Sox are to do anything. He is the tying run at the plate. He does have the power to go deep. 2-3, and that's a 1-13 home run, and he just did it. Just as soon as we spoke it, it came into existence. 2-3. A 1-13 is a home run. That's a 3. It's gone. Don Baylor, 2-run home run. So now Tanana will get a no decision, as will Roger Clemens. They're both off the hook. Well, Clemens is off the hook. Tanana gets cost a win, but really he didn't pitch well enough to win anyway. So maybe it's justification there. Home run number 6 for Don Baylor. RBIs 28 and 29. He had 16 home runs real world. So Henneman blows the save, and we are now tied at 6 apiece. Brand new ball game. 2 outs, bases empty for Dwight Evans. 5-10, and that's a ballpark single check. That's going to fail, so we'll keep the fly to right to end the inning. But we go to the bottom of the 8th, and we are tied. And I believe that's going to be all for Henneman. Henneman's going to go 2 innings. And let's see what he did on the results. He gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, struck out 1. So that's all for Henneman. They will probably go to Willie Hernandez in the 9th, whether they're tied or ahead. Joe Sambito back out. He'll be facing Kirk Gibson. Can Kirk Gibson go deep 3 times is the question. He would have to do it against a lefty on this occasion. Well, he did it against Tanana, a lefty, so Gibson says, no problem. I'll go deep left-handed. I don't care. 5-10. Ooh, just missed it. 5-11 would have been a home run on a ballpark blast. 5-11 would have been his 3rd home run of the game, but a 5-10 is catcher X. So Gedman, 3E15, 3-12. Should be no problem for a catcher. 3-12 is a P/F, which is a foul out with nobody on base. That is an 8, and Gedman is an E15. E15, there is no 8 there, so it's just a foul out to Gedman for out number 1. But Gibson just that close, just 1 number away, he would have hit his 3rd home run of the game. Just that close. So here's Trammell, 1 for 3. That's a 4-6, and that's a 1-8 triple. 9-20 is a double. That's a 6. Trammell had 3 triples on the season. This is his first triple of the replay. So a 1-out triple by Trammell. And now the infield is going to have to come in. Matt Noakes, your batter. Infield is in for the Red Sox. 3-3, and that's a ground ball third base B. They will throw Trammell out at the plate. 5-2. Boggs throws him out. Fielder's choice. Keeps the score tied at 6. 2 outs now for Pat Sheridan. Noakes not being held. 5-3, and that's a fly ball left field X. Looking at Jim Rice, he's a 4E7. 4-18, he'll get to that. E7 and a 6. Shouldn't be a problem, but you never know. E7, there's a 6 right there, a 2-base error. Do you believe that on Jim Rice? Rice is an E7, and under an E7, under an E7, a 6 is a 2-base error, and that's exactly what we got, is a 2-base error. And that'll put runners at second and third with 2 outs. And I'm getting a text from downstairs that Tabby may be on the way up here. I might need to let her in, so hold the phone there. Let's see what's going on. Okay, we're back, and Tabby's up here with me, but we're going to keep her off the table. All right, so Evans is up, second and third, 2 outs. Hold on, Ruth, come here. All right, there you go. Well, you're making a lot of noise. Here, Tabby. Come on, I'll help you. Come here, I'll help you. All right, come back over here. Oh, you're knocking my cards all over the place. There you go. All right. Maybe that will appease her a while. And we can get back to business. Okay. Now she wants to go back out. All right. She didn't know what she wants. I guess she just wanted to know what I was doing. All right, there you go. I guess she wanted to see what I was up to. I don't know. All right, so clutch situation for Darrell Evans after the 2-base error on Rice. Evans in the clutch against lefties will gain a hit on 1-3 and on 1-8 and 1-10. So he gains 3 hits in the clutch against San Vito. That's a 3-8, and it's going to be a base on balls. It's going to load the bases. And with Chet Lemon coming up, we might be getting a right-hander out of the bullpen. In fact, it looks like we will. That's going to be it for San Vito. He will leave. And the Red Sox will go to a right-hander out of their bullpen. See who's got the most rest and makes the most sense. Looks like they're going to Steve Crawford out of the bullpen. Steve Crawford will make his appearance in a very tight spot. Bases loaded, 2 outs of a 6-6 tie. He is a -4 hold, makes him a -5. On the real season, he was 5-4 with a 5.33 earned run average, no saves. On the replay, he's done better than that. 2-3 with a 3.82 and 2 saves. On the replay, 33 innings pitched, 34 hits, 17 walks, 22 strikeouts. And he is facing Chet Lemon with the bases loaded. The question is, do we bat for Lemon? Lemon's been struggling mightily. Although in this game, he did double his last time up. He has been coming out of it a bit. You hate to lose Lemon's defense in center field. So I think they're going to go ahead and let Lemon hit in a clutch situation. See what Lemon is in the clutch against righties. He actually loses. The only hit he loses is on 3-12. So that's not very likely to happen. So we're going to go ahead and let Lemon hit against Crawford. We'll fill in San Vito after the inning is over. He's responsible for all 3 runs. Anything comes across will be unearned because of the error. First the havoc roll, nothing happening. Crawford to Lemon. 2-9 for Lemon. He grounds it to short, and that's going to end the inning. So Crawford gets him out of the jam. We go to the 9th. We are tied at 6 apiece. as Lemon fails in the clutch. So we'll close the book on Sambito. Sambito for the Red Sox in this game went 1 1/3. And he gave up a hit, nothing else, with a walk and a strikeout. And now the Tigers will turn to Guillermo, don't call me Willie Hernandez. He is a -2 hold, which makes him a -1. So we'll bring in Hernandez on the replay. Hernandez, real world, 3-4 with a 3.67 ERA and 8 saves. On the replay, 0-1, 6.75 ERA and 3 saves, but only 7 innings pitched, so it's been a small sample size. Hasn't really got his feet under him, I don't believe. So he's going to be here pitching to Dave Henderson. Henderson homered in the second, but has gone 0 for 3 since. 6-9 for Willie Hernandez, and that is a ballpark blast on Willie Hernandez's card. It's a 1-11. It's gone. Dave Henderson greets Willie Hernandez with a long ball. Look at it again. 6-9 is a ballpark blast. Henderson, normal power against lefties. That's a 5. The home runs go up to 11. So Dave Henderson hits his second home run of the game, much like Kirk Gibson did. Home run number 11 on the replay. He only had 8 real world, but he's already got 11 in the replay. Again, some of these batters are running hot for the home runs. Henderson, Exhibit A, and the Red Sox take a 7-6 lead. Here's Spike Owen. 4-10, switch hitter batting right-handed. That's a fly ball center field X. That's Chet Lemon, 2-4. 2-4, that's going to be iffy. 2-4, he will get to it. 2-4 is an F1 that he will get to. That is a 12, and Lemon is an E4. There's no 12 there, so Lemon makes the play. 1 away. Lesser outfielder, that ball would have dropped in. So 1 down for Gedman. Gedman is 0 for 4. 4-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Trammell. He's a 1. We know he's going to get to it. We're looking at E21. Only errors on E21 are 6, 15, and 17. And he'll make the play. 2 down. For Ellis Burks, who has gone for, he might be a candidate for player of the game as well. He's 4 for 4 with 3 doubles. Kind of hard to overlook that as well. Hernandez to Burks. That's a 6-6 right-handed, and that's a 1-11 triple. That is a 9, so that is going to be a triple for Ellis Burks. 1-11 on the 6-6 is a triple. Ellis Burks had 2 triples on the replay. I mean, on the real season, rather. This is his 3rd triple of the replay. So he's already surpassed his triple total. And that's going to send up Marty Barrett. Hernandez trying to get out of the inning. Tigers really don't have much left. Well, that's a 1 possible wild pitch on Willie Hernandez. His wild pitch rating is a 4. No wild pitch. Tigers don't really have anything left in the bullpen to go to, so they're kind of hoping Willie Hernandez will go ahead and get this last out. 1-7, he does. Fly ball to center. Ends the inning, but the home run from Dave Henderson sets it up for a bottom of the 9th, and it's going to be Calvin Schiraldi coming on for the Red Sox to close it down. Crawford pitched 2/3 of an inning. Actually pitched a third of an inning, my bad. Pitched a third of an inning. He only faced 1 batter and got him out. So Calvin Schiraldi, the closer, will be on to try to close the deal. He is a +4, which makes him a +3. So we'll get the fly to center for Barrett, and then we'll go to the computer. It's showing right now for Calvin Schiraldi. So Schiraldi to come on. And let's see what they do here with that. Schiraldi on the real season, 8-5, 4.41 ERA and 6 saves. On the replays, 3-4, 5.06 ERA and 4 saves. So Calvin Schiraldi trying to nail it down. Look at the Tiger bench. They have some lefties that they can go to. Tom Brookins homered in the second, but he's really not much of a hitter. So we're going and looking at their bench. They have one left-hander off the bench, and that is Johnny Grubb, but he's not very good. Their best hitter actually is Larry Herndon. So they're going to go with Larry Herndon off the bench to pinch hit for Brookins. See if you can get something started. Larry Herndon. Go to the bench and replace Brookins with Larry Herndon. Herndon, real season, he hit .324 with 9 homers and 47 driven in. On the replays, hitting .296, 4 homers, 13 driven in. Calvin Schiraldi to Larry Herndon, the pinch hitter. Bottom of the 9th. Red Sox holding a 7-6 lead. 7 runs, 17 hits, and an error for the Red Sox. 6 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Tigers. Check the left on base real quick. It seems to me Boston's left a lot of guys on. Yeah, Boston's left 13 runners on. Detroit's left on 5. So Detroit probably pretty lucky they're actually still in the game with those numbers. Schiraldi to Herndon, 1-8 is a ground ball to third. Boggs has it, 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Whitaker. He is hitless. He is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. He's definitely due. 2-5, and that's a strikeout. So Calvin Schiraldi, that's a hat trick for Whitaker. That's his 3rd strikeout. So now we're down to Bill Madlock, last chance. Schiraldi trying to get the save. It would be his 5th. And the winner would be Steve Crawford. Facing one batter, he would, what they call vulture that win. Pitch to Madlock, 3-6 for Madlock. That's a ground ball to short, and that'll do it. Schiraldi 3 up and 3 down in the 9th. Gets his 5th save, and a devastating loss for the Tigers in this one as they drop a game to both the Blue Jays and the Brewers who won. So they will look back on this one with regret, wasting a 2 home run performance from Kirk Gibson, who was on deck, but they couldn't get to him because Whitaker Madlock, well, nobody got on base after that, so they couldn't quite get there. Go to the bullpen, the box score for the total: 7 runs, 17 hits, and an error for Boston. 6 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Tigers. Again, Boston left on 13, Detroit left on 5. The losing pitcher, Willie Hernandez, he will drop to 0-2 as he went 1 inning, gave up 2 hits and a run. No walks, no strikeouts. Winning pitcher is Steve Crawford. He will improve to 3-3. And Schiraldi, his 5th save. So I plan on playing this game tomorrow morning, but had a little opening tonight to figure I'd do something different so that people who don't normally get to watch it in the morning, a live version, can maybe pick it up at night in prime time. So that's what we did. And it turned out to be a pretty decent ball game, all things considered. Detroit, though, taking a tough luck loss. They dropped to 33-24. Boston improves to 22-38. Player of the game, boy, it's kind of hard not to give it to Ellis Burks. He was 5 for 6. He was a home run away from the cycle. He was 3 doubles, a triple, and a single. even though he only scored 1 run, didn't drive in any runs, the fact that he's 5 for 6 is kind of hard to overlook. And by going 5 for 6, he raised his average to 271 on the replay, and he hits 272 real world, so he's right at his average right now. All right, let's look at the standings after this one. Again, tough luck loss for the Tigers. Tigers with that loss dropped to 4.5 games in back of the Brewers and the Blue Jays, and a game and a half back of the Yankees. They've got the same losses, 33 and 24, but the Yankees have 3 extra wins, 36 and 24. So tomorrow morning, instead of this game, we will be going to Kansas City. It's the California Angels taking on the Kansas City Royals. The Royals will get George Brett back. Bianca Lana goes down to the minors, and Brett comes off the injured list, and he's in the lineup as the DH. It'll be Brett Saberhagen against Mike Witt, another good pitching matchup. But it is the Angels and the Royals from Kansas City. That will be tomorrow at roughly 9 Eastern in the morning. And we'll pick it up from there. It'll be game number 405 on the replay. So, thank you all for spending part of your Tuesday night with me. Appreciate that. I hope you're having a great evening, whatever you have planned. And hopefully you have a restful night of sleep, and tomorrow is a good day for you as well. So from here, final score once again, Boston Red Sox defeat the Detroit Tigers by the score of 7-6 as Dave Henderson leads off the top of the ninth with a home run off of Willie Hernandez to win it 7-6. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.